It's time. It is time. I've already read both the kits. I know what they do. I'll let you all know this now. They are both broken. Stupidly broken. Obscenely, stupidly broken. I love them both very, very much. So, one thing, my cat... I was literally getting ready for bed when this stuff came out. And so my cat's not happy about it, but we're going to talk about this. Their leader skills, the only thing that has changed about the 200% leader skill for this EZA is that they got an additional key. That's it. So it's a 4 key 200% instead of a 3 key 200%. Not relevant at all. Who cares? So I will tell you this right now as well. Both the gods and the Super Saiyan 4s here, they have the same passives in base. Like literally no change at all. Right, you can see this here. Damage reduction rate is 77%. Launches an additional super attack for 1 turn. Actually, hold on, yeah, this is the Super Saiyan 4s, by the way. The entrance animation, 77% damage reduction, and launches a guaranteed additional super attack for 1 turn. You get 2 key and 100% attack and defense, and guard for 7 turns. Amazing passive. They're basically like Tech Broly or Beast Gohan turn 1. They're not taking damage. They're not taking damage. It's just not happening. They get 200% attack and defense at the start of turn, an additional key plus 2 per type key sphere obtained. For every key sphere obtained, they get attack and defense 10% up to 77%. I'm going to assume that that works like the Dirty Fireworks Vegeta and not like a permanent thing. So just assume that you're probably going to have to get 8 orbs every single turn from them if you want to have their max stats. For every rainbow key sphere obtained, the chance of performing a critical hit goes up by 10%, which is cool. When attacking with 17 or more key, they get a guaranteed additional super attack. And when attacking at 20 or more key, they get the super effective is all types and another guaranteed additional super attack. So if you've been keeping track, turn 1, they can do 5 supers. 5 supers. Now, the reason that that's funny and important is because if you look over here, both their super attacks are giving them 50% attack and defense. These are 50% attack stacks and defense stacks. And they can do 5 of those. For how many turns, you may ask? 1 turn they can do 5. Every turn after that they can do 4. And they're guaranteed. By the way, they're not hidden potential system. Like the only one that's not guaranteed turn 1 is your hidden potential system additional, which is a 50-50. They're crazy. they're crazy, right? And that's their base form. And like again, if you want to like, oh, are they really the same in base? Yes, exactly the same. There is no change in either of them. They are exactly the same in base form. I'm perfectly okay with that. I don't mind them having like no differences in the base. You can literally look at this, right? 77% damage reduction, launches an additional attack, super attack for 1 turn, 2 key 100% attack and defense and guard for 7 turns, 20% attack and defense at the start of turn, key plus 2 per type key sphere, 10% attack and defense up to 77% per key sphere obtained, 10% crit per every rainbow, additional super attack at 17 key, super effective with all types, and additional super attack at 20 key, right? It's literally exactly the same. There's no change at all to their passives. Love that. Both of them getting 5 super attacks turn 1. Fantastic. Great stacks. Obviously, with that 7 turns of guard, you're really probably not going to need to transform with them for a pretty long time, right? It gives you the ability to stack up so that way you can, when you do eventually decide, oh, maybe it's time to bring Gogeta out. He's gonna be pretty good. So Gogeta. And just so you know, the LR gods, when they transform, they have the same thing. They have a 1 turn of invincibility where they have 77% damage reduction, which is amazing. 300% attack and defense at the start of turn. An additional key plus 2 per type key sphere obtained. Or just actually, or key sphere in general. Their super effective was all types guaranteed. They're guarding, guaranteed. They have a high chance of performing a crit, guaranteed. Basically, 100, just 50% crit, just for free. A guaranteed additional super attack. And Gogeta, he just has a permanent scouter. Every time he's on rotation, he has a scouter. Here, have a scouter. You want a scouter? By the way, remember, this guy has a counter. He has a counter with a scouter. Just keep that in mind. For 4 turns of the character's entry turn, he becomes a rainbow type changer, orb changer, which is great. Gotta love that. He gets 10% attack and defense up to 100% with every key spear obtained. Again, I think that's like Dirty Fireworks Vegeta, where that is not gonna, that's gonna reset every single time he's on rotation. For every rainbow key spear obtained, he's getting 50 or 10% crit and damage reduction, which means if you get 5 key spheres somehow, rainbow key spheres, that there's just like a bunch of them on the field, he's going to have guaranteed crit and 50% damage reduction. 60% if on rotation with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Just keep that in mind. When activating the active skill or when attacking with 24 ki, he gets 50% attack. They both have that. I guess that's just to make the power of their active skill a little bit harder. That should be multiplicative when that procs. So, I mean, hey, we take those. When receiving an attack, this is a once-only ability, remember this. Damage reduction rate 50% within the turn when HP is 50% or less. So if you're ever in a situation where you're low on HP and you bring Gogeta out, he's going to have upwards of 100% damage reduction. Which is pretty funny. It's just pretty funny. When receiving a super attack, his counter is now a 70% chance to nullify and counter. Which, remember, with all the stacking that you're getting in base, is going to hit really goddamn hard. Especially if you're linked up next to this guy. Right? Remember that they have 6 out of 7 links. And that this guy is giving a massive amount of support. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. All right. And not only that, remember that not only does this guy, if you're low at any point, will he have a stupid amount of damage reduction. He's also going to have a guaranteed counter. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. If you're ever low on HP and you bring this guy out, he's going to have a guaranteed counter while being invincible. So just keep that in mind. Because, like, literally his first turn, if you get 3 rainbow orbs, he has 100% damage reduction. Hell, if you get 2 rainbow orbs, he has 100% damage reduction next to this guy. He's literally crazy. And that's not it. That's not the funniest part. Let's take a look at these super attacks real quick. They have the same super attack effects, by the way, just so that we're not confused. 18 ki massively raises attack and defense for 4 turns. And then 12 ki massively raises attack and greatly raises defense for 1 turn. They're doing stupid. It's stupid. They're gonna be literally invincible after they super attack. Absolutely hilarious. I love it. And remember that they do have that active skill. And then if you want to look at their active skill, right? Hold on, let me bring them up here. Yeah, my cat's not happy. She wanted to go to bed. Remember that their active skill, they give themselves guaranteed crit for the turn, right? This is all it does, right? It just gives them guaranteed crit. That's probably why they have that 50% attack. Is that way they get a multiplicative buff whenever they do this, and it's a kill shot. They're just killing whoever gets hit by that. They're just dead. Anyway, we already talked about the base form for the LR gods. And remember, their super attack effects, it's the same thing. They're just getting 50% attack and defense, right? On both super attacks. If you don't remember what these guys, like, their transformation condition is, it's just turn 4. You're never probably going to do it on turn 4 because you don't need to, because they're going to be tanky enough as is. But hey, they do have that. Here's where the big difference comes in, right? Gogeta, remember, he's an incredible tank. He is getting so much damage reduction, and he has his counters, and he's a scouter. The other gods here, right, they also have that 77% damage reduction for 1 turn, which is fantastic. The 300% attack and defense at the start of turn, keep us 2 per type key sphere obtained, or per key sphere obtained in general, super effective with all types, guaranteed guard. Here's where they get different. A high chance of performing a critical hit, that was the same. Medium chance to evade enemies' attacks. Remember, that is a 30% chance. Medium is 30%, I believe. No, medium is 50, sorry, 50. Medium is 50, great 70. Right, so they have a 50% chance to dodge baseline. They change int key spheres to rainbow key spheres. For 4 turns, just like Gogeta, they are changing a different type of key sphere into rainbow. So they are a double rainbow orb changer, which means it is realistic where this character is probably going to be able to get upwards of 4 or 5 rainbow key spheres. You're probably going to get close to that. Especially like if they are double rainbow, and then those first 4 turns where they're double rainbow orb changing. If you have even one more orb changer, whether it be Gogeta, or Gotenks, right? The likelihood that you're going to get that many rainbow key spheres is pretty high. Now, they are getting the same thing, attack and defense 10% up to 100% per key sphere obtained. That's fine. they're getting 10% crit chance and dodge chance with every rainbow key sphere obtained. Again, so if you get 5, they will have 100% dodge chance. If you get 5, with them being a double rainbow orb changer, they will be guaranteed dodging. Just saying. If you collect 7 or more key spheres, they will be doing guaranteed additional super attack. If you get up to 20 key, they're going to be doing another guaranteed additional super attack. So the big difference is that they're going to have one more super attack available to them than Gogeta will. All right, Gogeta transformed only has the guaranteed additional from his passive. These guys, they have to be at 20 key and they have to get 7 more key spheres and they get 2 additional super attacks, which is pretty nice because their super attack effect is very good, but just keep that in mind. They also have that 50% attack when using the active skill or at 24 key. What you can't see here that it gets cut off because they have a second page of their passive here. When attacking, this is once only. Performs a guaranteed crit and launches an additional super attack when the enemy is 50% or more. Right? So this is not going to be like something that happens. Wait, actually, did I read this wrong? Oh, it is when enemy. So yeah, his first, or I don't know, it's enemy's HP is 50% or less is when he has the guaranteed counter. So if the enemy is going to like attempt to kill you, so for instance, not that this fight is relevant. If it's like, you know, the Goku and Frieza fight from the blue zone, when they're really scary, this guy would just counter it. That's what that is. But this one, I remembered correctly. This one is when your HP, and this one is when the enemy HP. Which makes me look at this differently. Yeah, these are both when the enemy HP. So their first turn, basically, if their enemy is high HP, this only happens once. Just remember, this only happens one time, so it's not that big of a deal, but it only happens one time. They'll have guaranteed crit and a guaranteed additional super attack if the enemy's HP is 50% or more. It's only going to happen one time. It's not going to happen all the time, so just don't worry about it too much. So they could technically do a quad, right? If the enemy's HP is 50% or more, which is probably not going to happen. And then when receiving an attack, once only, evades enemy's attack when HP is 50% or less. So if they get low and you have these guys out, they will have a guaranteed dodge. They have the same super attack effects, 4 turns of 100% attack and defense, and then 1 turn of 100% attack, 50% defense. They are both absolutely stupid. Like, I don't have any problems with how they designed either of these two cards. I think they're both ridiculous. I'm more excited about the fact that these guys share damn near 6 links with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. One of which, you know, look at that. 95% attack and 20% defense. Do you know what that's going to do to these 2 units? It's going to be stupid. They are so goddamn good. So goddamn good. I love this. I love this. Neither of them are bad. You can be like, oh, I actually like the LR guns better because they're doing much. Good for you. I don't think it matters. I think they're both stupidly broken. You're going to be able to use them on damn near every single team that they're on because they have no restrictions. Zero restrictions. Just toss them on the team and they're going to be crazy. I cannot wait to see like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta pop that Big Bang Kamehameha and one-shot an enemy off the face of the planet while having a guaranteed counter and like 90% damage reduction consistently. And then you're going to have the LR Gods. They're going to pop Blue Gogeta, have 100% dodge chance, and guaranteed crits. It's just going to be dumb. It's just going to be dumb. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'll see you guys all in the next one. They should be in game on Thursday. I can't wait. This is going to be amazing.